I'm Clyde Lewis. You're about to listen to a sample of today's Ground Zero show.
I'm Clyde Lewis, and this is Ground Zero. The number is to call tonight, 503-225-0860. That's 503-225-0860. You can find us online by going to talkstreamlive.com or straight sound from the board to the internet. You can go to aftermath.fm. If you want to listen to the shows at a more convenient time, you can sign up for our archives and our library. It's at aftermath.media. That's aftermath.media. We have a subscription price will fit your budget. And we really appreciate the support of the show, keeping us lit, keeping the lights on. And it's because of you we're still here, and that's a good thing. It's great to find the support that we have, especially from all the program directors across the country that air this program. And you keep us alive, and we're very grateful for this. So there's been this underlying, I guess you could say, pattern that I've noticed that, everything we've been talking about, it goes all the way back to Chris Everhart, and he always impresses me. He always impresses me with what he has to say. We're talking about the transference of souls, the alchemical creation of Gollum, metaverse, all of this stuff leads us to this idea of a geoengineered or a culturally engineered society where transhumanism is the cultural moment. Okay, the cultural movement and moment is transhumanism. And you may see, as what Zuckerberg has done, he's renamed Facebook to Metaverse or Meta. And you may see that the whole idea of transhumanism is not going to be the word that's going to introduce us to this evolutionary change or this paradigm change. It's going to be called H+. H+ means humanity plus whatever else you want to be, which basically believes that human limitations can be overcome with technology. While there are people who actively consider themselves part of this group, everyone uses transhuman technologies without even realizing. Even you do. Every time, and you're probably saying, well, how is this, Clyde? Well, you don't have a computer integrated into your brain. I know this. But we're sucking ourselves deeply into the realms of the metaverse already when we get ensconced in our video games and in our phones. And so it takes a broader understanding of how the cell phone is like drinking milk, but the meat is coming with the metaverse, the metaverse, I guess you could call it. It's the meat. What does it say in the Bible? You have to drink milk before you can eat the meat. You can't have any pudding if you don't eat your meat. You've heard that all before. It's the idea that right now we're having the pudding, we're having the milk. And then the metaverse or the meta or the meat is going to be there. And it becomes clear that you really don't have to convert completely to cyborg consciousness. You don't have to have your brain downloaded into a computer to be thinking like a transhuman. You just displace certain attributes that are typically characterized as human into technology. You lose yourself in technology. See, our memories have been on the decline since the invention of writing, when remembering whole stories became unnecessary. Now, our memory has been almost entirely displaced onto a smartphone, a calendar, smartphone search engines, Google, Yahoo, Facebook, nonstop communication on our computers, phones, and tablets give us undeniable convenience. It all sounds great at first. And it is great, because I know that when I don't have my phone, I freak out. I remember there are times I forget my phone, I leave it on the love seat, or I leave it in the car, and I'm going, where's my phone? I need my phone. I need to do transactions. I need to do a number of things. But think of the countless times you've received a message unsure what tone it should be read in, with regard to trolling on the internet, with regard to emails. Trolls have been known to bully your children. You might want to, you find yourself harassed online. I get that all the time. I get spam I don't like. But it's an emotional roller coaster that technology gives you, and especially on social platforms. And this is why I think Facebook is falling on its sword, because of the fact that society is becoming so aware of their emotional well-being and what they want to do to achieve paradise that they're going to go after it. This is what the cancel culture and the woke culture does. It's turning on Facebook. Facebook knows this, so they want to offer something that's kind of a graduation for the initiates. We were coerced in developing our online identities already. We pick a side politically. We share our religious beliefs. We talk about our sexual orientations, our family problems. You have hashtag activists or hacktivists. They bombard with causes to join, petitions to sign. It's taxing our brains. Technology does not portray emotion or intent clearly, yet society puts emphasis on emotional awareness. And this is what is going on. We see that there is a technological paradox right now that is bringing us with this new type of anxiety, and we're dealing with post-traumatic stress in the process. And you look at all of the people. I mean, I've been noticing now that Facebook is putting out, like PSA commercials saying, we're safe, we're doing this, we look at content, we're doing our best to, stave off disinformation. But it's not going to work because there are too many people now that are becoming aware of what this metasphere is, and they don't want it to happen. They worry that it's going to destroy humanity. And believe me, tonight you're going to hear some interesting tidbits of how the geoengineering process, the pharmaceutical process, all these processes we're going through is step by step by step by step pushing us into something called the eighth sphere. And we'll tell you who talked about the eighth sphere. I mean, I know that maybe a lot of this stuff for people who are used to hearing the regular political claptrap are not going to be able to grasp this. Some people are, but many times I have attempted to give people a bigger picture to consider with regard to the various conspiracy theories and a lot of the parapolitical hijinks and treachery. The technocratic offerings in this world. It can be argued that the technocratic offerings in this world are destroying our humanity, and we have to adapt to conditions that have been geoengineered and culturally engineered for decades. The results have been devastating, and we have seen things like the weather, climate, ecosystems, all being crushed. And it can be concluded that while we're being told it's all our fault, it's been by design the whole time by these technocratic miscreants. I mean, the results have been devastating. People, I mean, and we were just talking last night how everything is going to be blamed on climate change, including your health, okay? Somebody actually wrote on Facebook going, you're hysterical, I'm opting out of your show. Well, good for you, because, as crazy as it sounds, a lot of stuff I talk about, no matter how crazy they are, usually happen. I mean, and nothing surprises me anymore. See, here's a clue. There is a clue as to why this is happening. It comes directly from those who have been involved with genetic engineering, geoengineering, and creating genetically modified objects or foods or whatever, okay? And it all can be whittled down to one thing, the Human Genome Project. The ultimate truth is that our future will be converted or transmogrified by what is called synthetic biology. Synthetic biology is a field of science that involves redesigning organisms for useful purposes by engineering them to have new abilities. Synthetic biology researchers and companies around the world are harnessing the power of nature to solve problems in medicine, manufacturing, and agriculture. Now, a lot of people say, well, if it's broke, don't fix it. But they believe it's broken, and they want to build it. They want to build back better, and that's include genetic functioning and genetic modified foods and genetic weather. And see, they can hack the earth, they can hack your body, they can hack agriculture, they can hack the water, they can hack everything. Harnessing the power of nature is everything for them. Full spectrum control. These areas that they want to modify, and they've been modifying quite well, is the weather, climate, health, genotyping, genetically modified organisms. Now, in some ways, synthetic biology gets similar to another approach called genome editing, because genome editing involves changing an organism's genetic code. However, some people draw a distinction between these two approaches, between synthetic biology, genome editing, and these two approaches based on how that change is made. In synthetic biology, scientists typically, they kind of stitch together long stretches of DNA, and then they insert them into an organism's genome. It's amazing. I mean, these synthesized pieces of DNA could be genes that are found in other organisms, or they could be entirely novel. They could be entirely made in a laboratory. In genome editing, scientists typically use tools to make smaller changes to the organism's own DNA. Genome editing tools can also be used to delete or add small stretches of DNA in the genome. And the groundwork for this synbio, or synthetic biology, neural network inside Homo sapiens began by manipulating the microenvironment upon which our extraordinary interior microenvironment depends, from the macro environment to the microenvironment to the next phase, which is metaverse or a matrix or a transhuman world or transhuman Eden. You see, the air we breathe, the soil we grow food in, the water we have to replenish, they've all been commandeered primarily by the big pharma industry that has virtually taken all the chemicals, the nanotechnology, electromagnetic manipulation, and they've used it for geoengineering, vaccines, and it's all in preparation to have what is known as the software phase of the brain. It's a brain-computer interface that we finally are going to see after decades of this careful, quiet war against humanity. Now, can researchers synthesize an organism's entire genome? Yes. Yes, they can. It's already been done. In 2002, scientists in the United States synthesized a viral genome for the first time. Viral genomes are much smaller compared to the genomes of most bacteria and microorganisms. Scientists showed that it was possible to create the polio virus from scratch, and they brought attention to the risk that synthetic biology could be used to develop biological weapons. And to think, this is what's most interesting, is if they can create the polio virus from scratch in a laboratory, I mean, there are a lot of people that get irate when you tell them that COVID-19 is the result of synthetic biology and that it's part of a gain-of-function exercise. They'll deny, but hell, in synthetic biology, anything goes. Just read it. It's in the, you look at the Genome Project. They're just very proud of what they're doing. It is the planet has been shown to deteriorate and ecosystems start to fail. We're told by a cabal of wasting oligarchs that it's all our fault and that we have to pay our penance with carbon taxes and vaccines. Things are going to render us sterile. It's crazy. 503-225-0860. That's 503-225-0860. I'm Clyde Lewis. You're listening to Ground Zero, and we'll be back.
I'm Clyde Lewis, and you've just listened to a segment of Ground Zero. In order to access the complete archive shows and podcasts, you must sign up on our secured server at aftermath.media. It's only $4.99 a month for the archive shows and podcasts. Or if you want access to the Ground Zero online library, which includes videos, audio clips, ebooks, documents, a social media platform, plus the archive shows and podcasts, it's $9.99 a month. Again, that's aftermath.media. That's aftermath.media. Thanks for supporting Ground Zero.